Is it my turn to talk?
Are you starting already?
No, okay, I'll go then, I'll go. Hey everybody, welcome, and in good old Toyota tradition, we are bringing you live to the Chicago Auto Show. Is that right?
It's not Toyota tradition, we're taking over the
Oh,
Toyota social
okay,
media.
my bad.
Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, and Jamie Bestwick, he's big on MySpace, so make sure to fire up that old account and check my buddy Jamie out on there.
I am.
I follow you. Oh, is that a real one?
I got one follower. So.
All right, well, we're here, Chicago Auto Show, as Jamie said, and we are standing here first in line for the introduction of the Trd Pro entire lineup for 2019.
Yeah, it's a tremendous event. We have the world's press here, all eyeing up these three beauties on each of the podiums. And, you know, we have such a special relationship with these cars already. And I feel along the way, we're going to share with you some of the great features of the car and also just some of our trials and tribulations of driving around the world in Toyota's finest fleet, the Trd Pros.
I think between Jamie and I, we have more miles in really crazy countries on these trucks than anybody in history. I mean, I've taken these, we've raced down in Baja and won a pretty big race down there that everybody knows.
Yay.
Teammates, yay. I have driven the Tacoma Trd Pro north of the Arctic Circle where it didn't get daylight for 2.5 months. I've taken the Tundra up a bunch of volcanoes, the side of volcanoes for real in Chile. Not chili. I know you like to eat chili, but it's Chile, because I'm cultured.
Education as we go along, viewers.
You Englishmen, we'll teach you something someday. And then the Tacoma also, we had all three of them in Vietnam last December for Challenge Vietnam. And what did we do? We hung from helicopters flying through the jungle. We fjorded rivers, mud bogs. You threw out a couple pairs of pants on that trip, I think.
It was only fitting. But while these guys are the greatest off-road, also my experience of driving on-road have been very, very significant. You know, regular trips, 12 hours up to Providence, Rhode Island, you know, to go to BMX events, packing up the guys, filling the Tundra full of mountain bikes and BMX bikes. That's kind of a weekly event. So not only is it kind of in its element out in the off-road, but it's fantastic on the roads. And with the interior features to boot, it makes it a very, very smooth ride.
I had one of these 4Runners for about 5 years and I loved it. Only problem was I had to upgrade after I had a second kid, and now we're rolling the Sequoia. But I love the 4Runner. We had a lot of fun in it, and you drove this thing through Vietnam. Not this exact one. Actually, it might have been.
No, I know which one I drove.
You signed it on the side.
We're not going to get into that right now, but you know, yes, this was the car that I spent most of the 12 to 14-hour days driving through Vietnam. And you know, a lot of the times where we had to get to was road miles, but the journey there was absolutely worth it. This car is super smooth. It, you know, not only does it look rugged from the outside, but it kind of has features to match, you know.
Hey, speaking of features, this is my favorite one. This one has saved me and probably Jamie a lot of times. 1/4-inch
skid
Trd aluminum. Look at this thing, skid plate. This has saved us a lot, especially down in Baja. Those big rocks, you're stuck in a big silt rut. You know what? This thing, I may have put some dents in it, but I've definitely never put a rock through it, and I've tried.
But you know, that's what it's there for. It's to save the life and longevity of this truck. And even, you know, from guys like professional drivers like Andy to novice drivers like myself, you know, we really need kind of all the help that this 4Runner can kind of give us along the way. So,
did you notice how pretty this is now? New
it's
like
painted red.
lettering?
Yeah, I mean,
pretty nice.
They got LED lights on this one. They got everything, you know. It just looks so much more rugged and just ready to go rip off-road. I love some of the new interior features, like, you know, just the stitching in the headrest to all the new JBL system that they put in there, which comes as standard. Of course, Toyota Star safety features. It's just, you know, whether you're really serious about off-roading, and we got to rock crawl out in Big Bear earlier last year, and I really put this car through its paces, and it was just incredible how it just soaked up every piece of adversity that we kind of put in its way, to, you know, packing up the kids, packing up the guys.
Look at this thing.
Putting
Brand new.
Yeah, brand new roof rack on. You know, you want to go
Trd
skiing,
Pro.
you want to go camping. I know that, you know, there is a whole accessory line for these camper tops right now. Being at Hotel Tacoma, you know, we've been very used to seeing these camper tops with the awnings and the ladders, and it really just makes this car to even much more of an experience both off and on the road. So
you doing some of that rock crawling, I got to tell you, in Big Bear. You looked a little green after some of that stuff. I mean, the truck was outperforming you once again.
But that's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
That is a good thing. If the car is better than the driver,
I do
then that's
remember when we were in Vietnam, you getting the truck stuck, because the truck really never gets stuck. You got it stuck, and then you had to use your new favorite feature, crawl control.
Crawl control.
Which then dug you out. It's like the free get out of jail free card. You just turn it to crawl control up here, put in 4-wheel low, and it drags you right out of almost every situation. I like a heavy foot to get me out of a situation personally.
No kidding.
But I have even used crawl control a couple times in real life.
I think the first time I got to use crawl control was out in Maui when we did the trail of missions, and we kind of navigated the island, and we came to one spot where it almost looked like a vertical face. And the idea of going up this was to really enhance and showcase the use of traction control. And it was a real eye-opener for me, and it just showed all the endless possibilities of the times that we do run into trouble, or that we're a little bit out of our league in terms of driving.
He's out of his league a lot.
A lot. And hey, hands in the air, that's me. I'll get this truck stuck. But the one thing this truck does is it gets you out of those tight spots, and things like the crawl control definitely play to a driver's advantage.
Let's go check out that beautiful thing over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's big news over here. This is the biggest news of the show. Everybody's talking about it. We didn't start with it. We're not going to end with it. I can't wait. So we're just going to go over and have a little discussion about the 2019 Trd Pro Tacoma, which, as you may notice from first look, something looks a little different, Jamie. Is that a new armrest?
Yeah, it is. For 2019, they put an armrest for an Englishman on a white truck.
Look at that. What is that?
It's a snorkel.
It is not a snorkel.
It's a
You're not
snorkel.
supposed to go underwater. This is a desert air intake, my friend. I know in England you would need it as a snorkel, but this is for the dust of the desert out in Mojave or down in Baja. This actually moves the intake of your motor from down here in the wheel well, where it usually would be, to nice and high above the silt and the dust hanging in the air. It's like giving yourself a breath of fresh air.
So it's not a snorkel then?
You don't take too many breaths. You just keep talking.
9 out of 10 Australians will claim that this is a snorkel.
That is true.
And a vote between every family member of mine last night, they all came back and said it was a snorkel. So, but apparently it is the
desert air intake. It is for breaths of fresh air when you're in the dust and the dirt and stuff. I do not suggest going underwater with the Tacoma.
I think this is a particularly interesting feature because after sharing many a trip with Andy in a Tacoma, a breath of fresh air is always good after sitting next to a sweaty Canadian for the best part of about 5 or 6 hours. It gets a little ripe in there.
This will totally help with that.
This will help.
So that's the biggest news here. Other things we've got with the Tacoma.
The Fox shocks.
We've got, Fox internal bypass shocks. And I'm not that much of a technical guy. I just like to put my foot down and tell you if it's good or bad. But I think there's 46 millimeter pistons in this bad boy, 2.5 inch internal bypasses, which gives it, the new springs give us an extra inch of ground clearance. Ooh. On this thing.
Everybody wants an extra inch.
Of course. Speaking of extra inches, we've got the alloy Trd Pro black wheels here.
I'm sorry, but I have to pull you short, my friend Andrew, because that beautiful lady there is claiming that this truck has an extra 2 inch.
Well, the only thing better than 1 inch is 2 inches, obviously.
Wow.
We were just corrected by a very beautiful lady standing out there.
She's English.
So
she has to be.
She is much better at our jobs than we are. So we got the nice hood scoop here.
Yep.
We have the new Rigid
Rigid.
Industries fog lamps here, which
We
are...
got a new grill. This beautiful black new grill.
Did I mention we get an extra inch of width out of the stance with these new wheels on here, Jamie? I don't
No,
think
you
I
didn't.
did. See, I
No.
did my research. I may have been wrong a couple times, but hey, I can only do so much here.
I just love every aspect of this truck. It just looks the part, and you know, it just makes you want to go for that off-road adventure.
And I love the rigid fog lights because when we were in Alaska driving north of the Arctic Circle, we were in a blizzard, a snowstorm, 4-foot drifts across the highway. And these rigids really, really were cutting through the snow and the blizzard, and they actually really helped out a lot. So it was very nice to have those.
And I think they're a company too that anybody who races down in Baja really puts their faith in. You know, light is paramount when you go to the night sections of the races, and to have as much illumination as you can. I mean, Rigid Industry, they're top of the table right there.
So what else do we have here? We have inside, like you were saying earlier, we got the JBL premium sound system, so you can bump some tunes in here. This thing sounds awesome. I know you like to get your English classical music just bumping with all the bass and the subwoofer
I have
going in here.
a lot of Europop that I like to play. Yeah, it's, again, another incredible performance by TRD. The whole safety system, the app system that you can go through. My favorite on the app system is when the car tells you to pull over and take a rest. Andrew, would you say that's a tremendous feature?
That is a tremendous feature, because I'm usually tired, not from driving, but listening to your stories drone on and on and on, Jamie, sometimes. Or you asking me to pull over for tacos every 30 seconds when we're on the road.
Well, when in a taco, go grab a taco. Okay, that's what I live and die by. So again, another solid performing truck from Toyota. We've had the opportunity to drive these not only through the lands of Vietnam, but also out in Baja, out in Maui, and every time these trucks came through very, very solidly. One thing I love about these, Andy, is all the extra features you can get with the trucks. Especially with me being a cyclist and a mountain biker and just always wanting to go outside, there's so many versatile uses for these trucks that it really plays into the hand of, you know, that person looking to be a little bit more adventurous on the weekends, but yet in the week they need to drive to work.
Yeah, no, we've definitely put these things through their paces in all different kind of climates and terrains. From the rock crawling in Big Bear to the red ice that we discovered in Maui. I mean, that stuff was pretty crazy, and crawl control actually saved me as well, getting out of a pretty hairy situation. Poor Jamie was actually worried for me because I disappeared for, I don't know, a couple hours out there.
Yeah, but you kind of drifted off with the 8-time Supercross champion Jeremy McGrath. I tell you what, let's just split the difference. He shaded off with Jeremy McGrath. He had every snack that the team needed in the back of his truck. Why did he disappear while we were all starving? We will never know the answer to that question.
I was hungry and I needed some quiet time.
It wasn't crawl control that got him out of that situation. It was the trail of snack crumbs that provided that extra traction for these beautiful brand new TRD wheels.
Let's go check out my bad dog over here. Let's go check the Tundra. Come on. This is my favorite, you know. As Jamie would probably say, I'm big and loud, so I need the big loud truck. Right here, I just took your line. Sorry,
No,
buddy.
absolutely. This is the biggest and the baddest, the Trd Pro Tundra.
My absolute favorite. First of all, for me, I love this truck for a lot of reasons, but number one, I love the sound of the exhaust. The guys that tune the exhaust back in the TRD shop, this for sure is the best sounding truck I've ever heard. This thing is incredible.
Absolutely.
You just feel like a man when you're driving it. And it takes a lot.
Okay,
Yes.
and on that bombshell.
On that. All right, so interior, we've got all the great audio again. We've got the great seats, the badging, and the headrest, and the chairs there. We got, this year is coming with the upgraded BBS forged wheels, which according to my cheat sheet, which is memorized, not in my hand, that saves 3.35 pounds of unsprung weight per tire.
Yep.
And I can't times 3.35 by 4, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
Somewhere in like the 13, 14 pound range.
These BBS alloys look absolutely stunning.
No, they're forged.
Yep.
They're forged, and they're
Five
they're
spokes.
actually very nice.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They really are. They're an incredible addition to an already fantastic truck.
The Fox internal bypasses again, the 46 mil pistons, 2 extra inches of suspension travel, as well as it's lifted a couple inches as well with the tuned springs. We went all new grille. We've got
They got the hood scoop.
They got the hood scoop. We've got the updated rigid lights up here, which really do look tough. And just once again, when you drive this thing, you're just, it is about as burly of a truck as you could ever drive. I mean,
absolutely.
getting this thing up the sides of the volcanoes in Chile was absolutely terrifying. The truck was outperforming the driver once again. I wanted to stop, and the truck just wanted to keep clawing up the side of a volcano. So that was pretty crazy where we got on that trip.
And it's just, I'm always amazed how these trucks are just so well performing off-road, Andy. And then, you know, you can go put in a 10-hour shift on a highway and go drive somewhere, and it's easily one of the most smoothest vehicles you've driven, and you know, it's just a pleasure to be in. It's got everything you need. It's built for the off-road. Visually, it's just stunning. I love these accents that they put on this year. Kind of a black chrome matte finish.
Oh, you know what else we'd failed to mention that you can get this year is the optional moonroof.
Yeah.
Moonroof. That's pretty cool.
Who doesn't want a moonroof? Especially when Roland, you know, is sitting in the back because, you know, he's been chastised yet again, and, you know, he's just been a terrible off-road driver, as always. Roland can sit in the back and he can look out the moonroof and dream about drawing motorcycles all day. And
poor Roland, he's not even here to defend
himself.
himself.
You know, hey, Roland, hope you're watching.
Mr. Sands. Yeah, so we got the optional moonroof this year. We got the snorkel, the desert air intake, which we didn't mention is optional, but I don't know why you wouldn't get that.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it is definitely, I've watched a lot of people walking around here since they unveiled it 2 hours ago or an hour ago, and that draws more attention than anything.
It really does seem to be the talk of the show this week in Chicago.
I just wish people would stop calling it a snorkel when it's a desert air intake, Jamie.
My action figure that, you know, kind of looks like a secret agent type of guy, he had a snorkel too, and he accomplished every mission he went on.
That was Scuba Steve.
Well, let's just call it a snorkel for now. But as always, TRD embossed into the back of the Tundra always looks stunning. The distinctive
it's black.
pipes.
It's black this year, which I didn't notice.
It's like a black chrome or like a black matte finish. It looks awesome. And the great thing about all three of these trucks this year, Andy, is they come in the brand new Voodoo Blue.
You know, I got a chance to check it out over there. I was expecting it to be a little brighter. I really it's kind of like a matte gray blue, Voodoo Blue. Really badass. I'm a fan of the white.
I like it. I like them all. You know, the metallic black, the white, the Voodoo Blue, I think they all kind of complement each other.
I think it's midnight black,
midnight
metallic,
black, metallic.
You know? I'm the corrector of the facts here.
I'm sorry.
Who would have ever thought that? Who would have thought that?
Let's go to commercial right about now.
All right, well, I think we're pretty close to done our walkthrough here with all three of these things, Jamie.
Yeah. One of my favorites on this truck has always been these rubberized interiors. They take such a beating. You know, comes you know, whether winter, it's summer, going skiing, snowboarding,
we got good
chucking
grip.
the bikes in. Yeah, got good grip, great grip. Never really get scratched up that much, especially when you're throwing bikes in too. They're always kind of jostling around in the back. Unless I've got the kind of back tailgate cover on, but Yeah, outstanding performing truck. So many accessories that you can put on this that we've seen at other Toyota events that make this truck, you know, even more of an adventure-seeking vehicle. So, yeah, badass.
I think that's it. That's our walkthrough, Jamie, of the 2019 Trd Pro lineup from Toyota. We've kind of hijacked their social media feeds.
Sorry about that.
And MySpace.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry you're still on there, buddy.
I'm so not even more sorry than I am. I thought I deleted
JT.
that account. Yeah, sorry, JT. But
So if anyone, yeah, please hit up our social media. If anyone has specific questions, ask Toyota, ask us, Andy Bell, Jamie Bestwick. We have put the miles on these trucks. They never fail to disappoint.
absolutely.
We, around the world, have really beat these things as hard as we can, and they keep going, which is pretty amazing.
And don't forget that all these race trucks, you know, well, they're not really race trucks. These trucks, built for not only the pavement, but for off-road too, are all bred and inspired by Ivan Ironman Stewart. You know, his car's sitting over there to the right of me. It's a beauty of a truck. And every one of these trucks has got some race heritage in there. So from Ivan and myself and Andy, not that I'm any...
We're champions.
We're champions.
champions.
Well, Ivan trained us, right?
Ivan was our mentor,
All
which
right.
was the highlight of my life. So, yeah, that's it. Chicago Auto Show 2018 with the 2019 TRD Pros. Happy to give you guys the first look. Anyone has any questions, raise your hand. No, I can't see you.
It's a snorkel.
It is not a snorkel.
It's a snorkel.